Okay, so then there's buying brand new. Main points there: depreciation and trade-in. Trade-in has to happen before tax, right? And we got sticker price and things like that showing up under brand new. Then we switched over to buying used, and there the difference is buying through a dealer versus private, right? Privately, there was that long formula. You only pay a PST, which is 7% right now, and dealer is 12%, right? It's both taxes with a dealer. So that's the advantage of buying privately. So you just got to watch out, because when it's privately, right, you are taxed on the book or the purchase price, right? The taxes are charged on the higher of the two. So you got to watch out for that when it is a private sale, okay? Then okay, are we good now? Oh, it's not, it's my fault, guys. I'm not presenting. I think you guys were trying to figure out what if it's your end. It's my end here. I apologize. Presenting now, I think. Yeah. So sorry. We talked about buying brand new, then we moved over to used, right? Dealership versus private. And when it's private, there's the issue between book value and purchase price. Your tax PST on the highest of the two. And then we moved over to financing, right? Where you're financing, and it's obviously the loan. You need to take away the down payment. We're going to talk about interest, the monthly payment, right? There's also, right, we talk about principal. Principal is the amount that you owe, right? And this is actually, if you go to financing, you'll find that there. And so we're going to continue a little bit more. We're going to talk about financing a bit more and then move into leasing. Okay, so we're going to talk financing a bit more today and then move into leasing. And leasing is really renting a car, but it's a long-term rental. Okay, I'll tell you something about renting a car, because I'm probably going to forget down the road, because we don't really talk about renting a car, we just talk about leasing. If you rent a car, so let's say you go to Enterprise or You Drive, like one of those places that rents a car, don't take their insurance, because their insurance is like $10 or $12 a day. You can actually go to AutoPack, MPI, and say, hey, I'm renting a car, I would like to buy insurance, and it's like $2 a day. And then you can decline their insurance and just have that $2. I didn't know that, and once I found out, it's a lot less, because every once in a while you might want to rent a car and you can save money there. Okay, so I gave you the answers to question number 2 here. Okay, but I think I'm going to take the time to go over it anyways, because I can explain things and touch on things that you have to watch out for. Okay, so this is on page 17 in your booklets. Follow along, okay? Oh, there are some people that joined. Let me know who it is, okay? Because I don't know who joined. I already did attendance. Okay, so just write down here, I'm late. GMC Sierra. Okay. Griffin, I got you. I think there's one more. Let me know. Total cost including taxes. So before you start anything, because I'm starting to kind of mix it up a bit, you're buying it from a dealer, right? And so it doesn't matter if it's used or new. If you're buying it from a dealer, then you know it's going to have both taxes on it, right? So it's a dealer, it's 12%, right? So the total cost including taxes in this case It's the 29,777. Go ahead. And you need to just apply taxes to it. Okay. And let's see if my answer matches. It does match. So it's 33,350.24. Okay. So do not take the down payment off of this before adding taxes. You pay taxes on the full amount. If there had been a trade-in, then you first take off the trade-in and then apply the taxes. That's how it goes. Okay. The loan required, it's simply the purchase price, right? Like this amount here minus the down payment. And just the down. So that you're gonna have to borrow the rest, right? Which is 31,350.24, which is the answer here that I have on the left here. Okay. So that's how you come up with a loan required. Then it's asking for the monthly payment. So if you did the work here, the homework, you should just be relaxing and just checking off your work, right? That's ideally what happened. So to get the payment, I use that formula, which is the amount that I need to borrow. So if you had not taken off the down payment up here, you would do it here in this question, right? But I'm just using the loan, right? And I'm going to multiply it by a table rate over 1,000. So when it's monthly payment, you need this formula and you need that table, which I will provide. Okay, if it's on a quiz, test, you name it. I don't do the full chart. I just give a little snapshot of that chart. And so you just have to go get it from that chart. So if you go to page 14, there's that table rate, and what do you do, right? Well, it's a 5-year loan, and you match it with, I'm just going to put that over here, 3.25%, which is given to us up there, right? You match it and you get a number out of it, and that number goes in here. Okay, and if you do that, you should get 18.08. That's the table rate. Table rate. So that's on page 14, but I will always give you that on any AC or anything like that. I will give you that. Okay. And let's go ahead and do the math. So, I forgot the 24, so watch out there. 31,350.24 times 1808 divided by 1,000. That's 566.81, just like the answer key says. There's your payment. That's every month. That's your payment. It doesn't change. The total amount paid for the vehicle by the end of the 5 years. So paid for vehicle, okay? For car, total paid for car, right? If somebody joined late, please let me know. Write down here, I'm late. Okay, paid for vehicle. And so total paid. And the key here is vehicle, not to the bank. So you will go 566.81, that's your monthly payment. Okay, Enzo, times, this is a 5-year loan, and you multiply that by 12 months. So I'm going to put this in brackets like this, because this is what you would have paid the bank. Okay, this is what you would have paid the bank. Paid to bank. Right, because the monthly payments go to the bank, and you did it over 5 years, 12 months and a year, so it's really 60 months that this gives you. And we're going to add the down payment here, because for the car you paid this and the down payment. Okay, and that gives you, I'm going to break it down I didn't break it down in my notes, but I'm gonna say 34,080. And I didn't. This number is off because you need to add the 2,000. Oh, it is. Never mind. It is. It's good. For a moment, I thought I hadn't included it. This is total for car. This would have been paid to the bank right here. So keep that in mind. Most of the time they ask for how much did you pay the bank, not in total, most of the time. But you need to be comfortable with both of them, okay? How much money in interest alone was paid? So they're asking for total interest. Okay, that's what they're asking for. Total interest paid, that's what this question is asking. And so I gave you formulas and I'm going to go back to them in a bit. Total interest, right? I'm going to borrow this line here because this is how you find out the total interest. You take everything you've paid them and you will subtract the loan, the original amount they borrowed you from it. So 566.81 times 5 times 12, right? Minus the loan. And the loan, you always get it from, because normally you will have paid, you will have calculated the payment. And so this is the loan right here. So I don't know if you want to write it up here as well, that this is the loan amount. Okay, up an I. So I'm going to use that number here. So this is how you find out the total payment, the total interest. And I have a formula that I gave you on Friday. Okay. So this gives me $34,008.60 minus 31,350.24. And that is 2658.36, just like the answer key was saying. Make sure you write this down because imagine, 2, 3, 4 months from now, this is going to be gibberish, right? If you don't write this down, if you just write down the answers, it's not going to make sense to you, okay? Interest paid on the first month, okay, just the first month. I'm just gonna go check the formula that I gave you because I never gave those out before, so I just want to be consistent here. So let me just peek once. On page 15, there's the total interest paid, which we just used there. Interest paid on the first month is this one here on page 15. Okay, Friday's video will have that if you need it. So interest on the first month is loan, which is 31,350.24 multiplied by interest rate divided by 100, and all of that divided by 12. Okay, so that ends up being, if I rewrite it, this is 0.0325 and then divided by 12. Reminder, try to go to Staples, buy a good calculator. 91, yeah, which matches my answer, right? If I round it, okay. Notice how much less it is compared to the total interest paid. Sometimes when I ask them at the same time, like same question, some students will take the 84.91 and multiply it by 60 because they're like, hey, there's 60 payments, and if you pay 60 of these, That's the total interest paid. You will not get the right answer. I'll show you, like 8491 times 60, you will have paid $5,000 in interest, right? That you don't want that because this number slowly goes down every month. I don't know if you remember that video that I showed you, right? Of that guy, he showed every month you pay a little less interest. So this is like the highest amount of interest you will be paying. Your very first payment will have the highest amount of interest, and that will slowly go down from there. And what was your payment again? Was 566.81 a month. So your first payment, they'll take this off here, and then the rest goes towards paying off your debt, your loan. Okay? Let's keep going. 3. So 3 and 4, questions 3 and 4 on 18 and 19 are very similar. So I think I'm just going to give you the answers, and you can then go with that. So are you ready for the answers, guys? I'm going to put them right here actually this time in brackets. So this one on page 18, this is 32, 368. Okay. And then B is 29,368. I think what I want to make sure you understand is don't think that this is how it's always going to be, exactly step by step. I'm going to skip. I can skip steps and go straight to what's the loan required, right? Which means that you would have to add the taxes and then subtract the down payment to come up with this. Watch out for the wording here. Let me see where my highlighter went. This is key here because some students add taxes regardless of what comes after. It's before tax, that's why we add taxes. If it said after taxes, don't add it again, right? Or if it says including taxes. Most, like when I test you, I will not ask you to add taxes on a finance question when it's like payments and interest and everything, because just if you get that wrong, marking the rest is a nightmare. Okay, it is a nightmare because I have to recalculate everything. And so I don't want to do that. I want to make sure you understand how to do payments, and that's what I'm going to assess there, right? So C is that, D is 33,796.80. E, how much in interest alone was paid? 4,428.80. And I added F here as well. Interest paid on the first month. Right, and that is 134.60. So the higher the interest rate, the higher the actual loan, the bigger that number will be. Okay. Next page. 19. Answers again. Notice that it's a used car and it's private. There's a book value. So I'm actually going to do this one with you. Okay, just the first part. So it's if you go under the umbrella of used, this is private. Okay, so I gave you a long formula that involves private sales, right? And in this case, there's not much detail. So basically, it's saying that the car costs 37 plus tax. The book value is 4,000, right? He needs to borrow the money from the bank, and it's at 6.5% over 2 years. First of all, we need to find out taxes. You can't just add 7% or 12. You need to take the value of the car plus, right? In this bracket, it's the greater of the two. And in this case, book value is the greater number. So it's 4,000 times 0.07. There's no safety, no lien, no parts. Okay, so in case you're wondering what happened to that long formula, well, I just disregard everything else because I don't have that information. Okay, so it's 3,700 plus it's 280 bucks. So that is 39.80. Okay, you don't just add 12% because this is a used scenario and it's in particular it's private. So purchase price plus these are the taxes that you're going to be paying on it. That's why we go 0.07 because they're taxing you on the 4,000, but you're paying this much. So you got to go purchase price plus the taxes, right? This is the PST. Okay. And that's 39.80. So that's how much you're paying with taxes. Amount of loan required. There I can just give you the answers already. So that's 39.80 because there's no down payment. The monthly payment is 177.35. That's the monthly payment. The total monthly payments. So this is asking the total monthly payments, okay? And rightly so. There is no down payment. But if they had said this, regardless if there had been or not, you would. Okay. Somebody raised their hand or something. I thought I saw Enzo's already earlier. Okay, D 4,256.40 cents. How much money and interest was paid? And this is 276.40. And I will spare the first month interest. I won't do it here. It's the same as the other ones. Okay, so this basically this is how financing works. But we're gonna take it one step further and actually come up with that chart that that you saw on that video, on the YouTube video. We will make that, but not for the whole 60 months, just for like 3 or 4 months. Okay, so you see how that works. We'll start a new one here and call it amortization.